Fadare, and the mountain that would not yield in the land of Oke-Oro. Villages stretched between valleys and hills, but none dared approach the great mountain that loomed over them like a silent giant. Its peaks pierced the clouds, and its slopes were jagged, with rocks sharp as knives and shadows that hid deep, yawning chasms. Travelers told tales of brave men who tried to cross it, only to return broken and defeated. Some said the mountain was alive, that it tested the hearts of men. In a small village at the foot of the mountain lived a young man named Fadare. He was neither the strongest nor the tallest among his peers. But he carried a mind that never rested and a spirit that never yielded. While other young men spent their days hunting or boasting of feats they had yet to attempt, Fadare would sit by the river watching how the water curved around stones, listening to the wind that whispered through the trees, studying the patterns of birds in flight. One season, a terrible drought fell upon Oke-Oro. The river that sustained the village dried to a thin trickle, and the crops withered under the sun. The elders called meetings in the village square, wringing their hands in worrying. They spoke of the mountain, of the stream that ran on its far side, and of the danger it held. "No one has ever returned from that mountain," an elder warned. "Even the strongest warriors failed. Let it be, Fadare." Some obstacles are meant to remain, but Fadare only nodded. He knew that fear and warnings could not quench necessity. He packed a small satchel, some dried yams, a calabash, a knife, and a length of rope. Before dawn the next day, he set out. The climb was worse than he had imagined. Sharp rocks tore his sandals, cold winds whipped his face, and the sun scorched him by midday. He slipped on loose stones and slid down small ravines. At first, he followed the old paths that hunters had tried, but they led nowhere. Every time he felt despair creeping in, he stopped, breathed, and looked for something no one else had noticed. By the third day, Fadare noticed a thin line of shrubs clinging to a cliff face. Birds rested among them, and small animals tunneled nearby. Where shrubs grew, there was soil. Where soil clung, there were cracks. And where cracks appeared, a foothold could be made. Fadare began his slow, careful ascent along the shrubs. He carved small steps with his knife where none existed, tied branches together to form temporary handholds, and used stones to balance precarious spots. He slept in small caves that provided shelter from the wind and rain. Each day he grew weaker, but his determination grew stronger. Every obstacle became a lesson, every failure a guide. On the fifth night, Fadare reached a narrow plateau where the full moon bathed the mountain in silver light. From there, he could see the stream below, winding like a ribbon of life through the dry land. His heart leapt. With careful precision, he descended toward it, marking the path with stones and branches so that others could follow. When he returned to the village, carrying water in his calabash, the people gathered in awe. They asked, "How did you conquer the mountain, Fadare?" Fadare shook his head and smiled. "I did not conquer it. I listened to it, watched it, and learned its ways. When one path closed, I found another." The mountain yielded not to strength, but to patience and understanding. The villagers used the path Fadare had made, bringing water, food, and goods across the mountain for generations. His name became legend, not because he was the strongest, but because he refused to bow to what others called impossible. And so the people of Oke-Oro learned a truth older than their hills: a determined and resourceful person can find a way where no way seems to exist. Obstacles are not walls, they are puzzles waiting for a mind that refuses to surrender. Moral true strength lies not in brute force, but in the ability to think, adapt, and persevere. No obstacle can stop a person who refuses to give up.